Alright, welcome to a brand new series that I am beginning to do on the Mega Strikers called Name Your Main. So basically, I'm going to be helping you name your main. On a more serious note, I'm going to help you try to find out who your main is or who would you like to main. Or if you're just exploring characters, you don't know who you want to play yet, you're kind of just looking around and Kazan kind of caught your eye, you know? Then I'm here, I'm going to give you a couple tips and tricks and things like that. Kazan was my very first main, so I feel like I have a very small amount of room to talk. Not too much, not too much. He doesn't have too much XP. He is at 764,000. So like, I can yap, but I can't give legal advice, something like that. I mainly play Kazan as goalie. I know he's not the most known goalie, like main. He more is a forward, but I like to use him with Powerhouse just because I don't know, he's kind of unique and team player. I'll teach you about that pretty soon. Now for the backstory of Kazan. He had a young sister who was very fragile. She was very weak, but she was also very sick. She would motivate Kazan to chase his dreams because she herself could never chase her dreams. And they were always together, but she was often the one that be crazy English, bro. That would often be bullied. As sad as it is, they always bully the sick one. The city often rained. It often had thunderstorms, but Kazan will always make sure to have his umbrella with him to put over his sister's head so she could never get too sick or too cold. But on one rainy and thunderstorm type day, it happened. Some bikers rolled up and they began to circle Kazan on their bikes and they taunted him, they bullied him and his sister, and Kazan snapped. He beat one of the bikers so bad that he almost died, he almost passed away. And during this whole moment, he snapped, he blinked, and all he felt was rage and pleasure. His sister was begging him to just stop. Kazan, please stop. Stop beating them so bad. He's already done. Don't kick us, Sharkeisha. But he continued until he was probably satisfied. Something happened, but he finally woke up. But when he woke up, the pleasure was gone. The rage was gone. All was left was the feeling of being guilty and disgusted. When he finally woke up, he saw that his sister was crying and that she was getting wet by the rain because he was no longer holding the umbrella over her head. This ended up causing her to get sick and hospitalized, and he would constantly blame himself for his sister getting sick. She would get worse, she would get worse and worse and worse, and the doctors were not finding no cures. They were just, you know how the America system is. Horrible. He's probably not an American, but you see you get the concept. But you hear whispers of a man named Razimus. He's a character inside Omega Shark. You see what they did? Clarion Corp. This is how he get into the Clarion Corp. But I got more for you. So he hears things going on with Razimus that he has a cure to all illnesses. Pretty interesting. So he would find this man named Razimus, and Razimus will give him a deal. If Kazan was to accept all jobs from Razimus, then Rasmus would look for a couple years. Mm, but as Kazan did more and more jobs, it would get more and more brutal. And Kazan would start to enjoy it more. The more brutal jobs, which might contribute to why he's so insane. But somehow he ended up to be inside Core Strike as an Omega Striker for the team Clarion Corp. But throughout all the battles and all the Core Strike games, Rasmus still hasn't found a cure, and Kazan is beginning to get impatient. And the patient's not the only thing he's losing, it's his sanity. But on a lighter note, his birthday's on June 7th, pretty close to my birthday, same week. He loves calligraphy, rice cakes, and roller coasters. As you can see, he's from Clarion Corp, or he's on the team Clarion Corp. And Kazan is 171 centimeters, being the 11th shortest, tallest, whatever you want to say, character inside the game. One shorter than Now, and then a whopping one taller than Era. His first trick, put team player on. as Kazan, team player and powerhouse is going to be your lovey piece of boot. If your teammates can ever react to it, you'll be great. Most people, they won't react to it, especially when it's the very first hit. They're most likely going to miss. So just have that on. Team player, very essential. Now for the actual tricks, I call this the reposition dribble. It's very simple, just hitting the ball down while you are inside your pointy form, or hitting it up down against the wall. Just because whenever you do that, it kind of helps you reposition and you can hit the ball in multiple ways. As you can know, when Kazan's in his pointy form, it's very hard for him to hit in a certain direction. He can kind of only hit directly in front of him, like up, down, and kind of weird degrees. So when you reposition, it's just much easier for you to get to a place you want to be. You kind of reposition yourself in the direct middle of the court, or whatever you want to call it, and it just kind of helps you just get open, not get in a situation that you don't want to be. For the next one, it's going to be more of a tip, not a trick, but it's going to be the pull follow. Really all you got to do is just pull the ball and then try to follow as you move around with it. It's mainly used for catching the ball when it's kind of a little bit too far, or when you want to reposition to the middle again. You kind of realize that a lot of my things are kind of repositioning in ways that are more favorable for Kazan. Alright, here is by far my very favorite Kazan trick. I call it the pull, the fake out dribble, whatever you want to call it. I mainly call it the fake out dribble, but it's going to be mainly used whenever you're close to a wall. You're going to hit the ball against the wall and then pull the opposite direction that you hit. It's super simple. It's something that gets people off guard. You can use it to pass, to reposition. It's just very good for creating space and also getting the strike out of the people, just so you can have basically a free hit as long as they don't use their ability. For this move, I want to clarify, you shouldn't use it all the time because people eventually realize what you're doing and they will catch on very quick, and you'll see how bad that would go. Alright, so this next trick is going to be for the more advanced players that people are trying to get more advanced with Kazan, and this is going to be his eject button cancel. So with Kazan, if you ever pick the eject button, which is going to be a very kind of hard to use awakening with him, but it definitely can work. There's going to be situations where you probably want to use your dash instead of trying to go back to your eject button. If you ever want to cancel that, as you're falling out from your special, you can press secondary and it'll cancel out the eject button. So it's basically going to go secondary, special, and then as you're falling back down, going to use your secondary once again and it'll get rid of the eject button. Okay, for this next trick, it's going to be pretty useful whenever you're down a teammate and you just need to slow the ball down a little bit. As the ball is coming down towards you, you're going to want to press your primary right before it hits the very back end of the hitbox, and if it does that, then it'll slow the ball completely down. It's just a stall. I call it the primary stall. It just slows the ball down, it stops the ball from moving, and just gives you a quick little reset. Alright, for your more advanced players, here's going to be a string of slip combos you can do. This one's a very basic one. This one's kind of useless almost. It's just to show you, the easiest one. It's the concept. But the more you do it, the more better you can kind of get with them. You can hit them in certain directions. You can redirect. You can just get in a good position for yourself and then, do your Kazan things, as you could say. So for majority of the slip combos, you're going to do a slip and then immediately into the primary. That's the best way to set it up. You can obviously hit and then do a pull, or you can hit into the pop-up, but I find it's most useful to just pull. Another cool thing you can actually do is you can slip, hit, pull, and then use your pop-up. I know it sounds confusing, but that's how confusing Kazan is. Alright, for the next trick, it's only going to work with the eject button. It's going to be more of a glitch, so devs, not take this out, but if you use your secondary, as you're falling down, as soon as you touch the ground with your feet, immediately press your secondary once again and you will magically hit the ball where the eject button is. For this trick, you're going to want to use your umbrella secondary, and then you're going to want to combo that into your primary. But for it to work, as soon as Kazan touches his feet onto the ground, you're going to want to press the primary button. And that will get you a weird interaction where you shouldn't even be able to do this, but it allows you to use your primary from the umbrella spin. Alright guys, that's going to be the very end of all my tips and tricks I have for you. I know it's a pretty short video. This is my very first time actually making this format of a video. I promise for the other ones it will get better. If you guys did enjoy, let me know by a like. I don't even need you guys to comment. If you guys like to comment, just go ahead and be that guy. Go ahead and subscribe if you'd like to see more of this. And thank you for watching Name Your Main. I'll see you guys in the next video.